Hello students, good morning. Students, after completing first chapter, we are going to start the second chapter, that is the chapter number 2, microorganism, and the title of the chapter is microorganism. And this is the lecture first. So students, what are microorganisms? In short, you can say that the kind of organism which cannot visualize by our naked eye, it means they can only observe with the help of using an instrument called microscope. Such organisms are called microorganisms. There are lots of microorganisms present in our surrounding, inside our body. Even we open our mouth, and during COVID-19, in this pandemic, you will also clearly listen about the kind of virus, that is microorganism, coronavirus. It is not seen. It cannot be visualized or seen with open eye where it is present. So, lots of precautions we have to keep in this pandemic to save us from the infection of such microorganisms. So students, in short, you can say that the kind of organism which cannot be seen with the naked eye are called microorganisms. Such organisms can be observed or seen with the help of an instrument that is used in the laboratory as well as in pathology centers, are called microscope. Now students, there are many facts about the microorganism on which we are going to discuss. That are the studied under the branch of biology. It means on which branch of biology the microorganisms are studied. The study about microorganism is under the branch of biology, that is called microbiology. If any person asks you all of you what is microbiology, then you can easily answer. The study about microbiology is the branch of biology or science in which we study about the microorganisms. The question will be, in which branch of science we study about the microorganism? Then the answer will be similar. The branch is called microbiology. Is that clear? Now students, who is regarded as the father of microbiology? Then the scientist name comes, that is Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Antony von Leeuwenhoek first observed a microorganism that was a bacteria, and one thing interesting to you know that he called them animalcules, not gave the term the microorganism, but Further, he studied the various shape of the bacteria and their pathogenic effect. It means the infection they cause in plants and animals. So, the Antony von Leeuwenhoek is regarded as the father of microbiology. Also, the father of bacteriology. Yes, the study about the bacteria under the special branch of the biology that is called bacteriology. So, Antony von Leeuwenhoek, collectively regarded as the father of microbiology as well as father of bacteriology. Students, these microbes are these microorganisms are also called microbes. So there will be no differences between the microbes or microorganisms. They can be also pronunciated by the term microbes. The microbes spread diseases in animals and plants. Hence, they are also called pathogens. As for example, a very common fever nowadays, that is the typhoid. Who is the pathogen of typhoid? The pathogen of typhoid fever is a bacteria that is Salmonella typhi. Likewise, many other microorganisms spread specific diseases in plants and animals. We study about these diseases and the microorganisms in more detail. So, let's going to discuss more about microorganisms. Occurrence of microorganisms. Students, in short, if I have a chance to give the answer where the microorganisms are found, then I will say in a single term, microorganisms are cosmopolitan. What? Cosmopolitan. What is the term cosmopolitan means? The term cosmopolitan means found everywhere. Found everywhere. In the whole of this, you can say that biosphere. It means they are found in air, in water, in soil, in plants, animals, utensils, evenly in our body, in our eye. They are comes in contact with our eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and the whole exposed body surfaces. They always present. But due to the immune system of our body or immunity of our body, some of the microorganisms cannot give any harmful impact on our body or to any harmful impact on our body, but some can cause their pathogenic effect with the appearance of the symptoms. So it is clear the microorganisms are present everywhere. On the bark of trees, on the surfaces, on the floors, in the air, in the water, in soil. Even we are speaking some of the microorganisms with the help of air enters inside our mouth. So this is about the occurrence of microorganisms. It is clear that microorganisms are present everywhere. That's why we have to follow the hygienic habits. to save us or to protect us with the pathogenic effect of these microorganisms. Now students, today we are going to discuss about the types of microorganisms in this video lecture, and in more detail about each and every microorganism, are their types, what are their useful impact, what are their harmful impact, what are the shape, size and structure of these microorganisms. All about these points we will discuss in next video lecture, but here the microorganisms can be identified in following 5 types. What are they? The first one is the bacteria. You all of you aware about the bacteria and their pathogenic effect. No more about bacteria is discussed in this topic, but here are some examples about bacteria. If you want, then I will discuss. Bacteria are the kind of prokaryotic organisms. Their body organization is very simple. They are generally unicellular. They either feed upon the dead and decaying organic or inorganic matter, but mostly have the chlorophyll content, so they can perform the process of photosynthesis. They leads the infectious diseases known as bacterial diseases. As per the name bacteria, here Salmonella typhi, it spread the disease typhoid fever. Rhizobium, this is very useful bacteria found in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. In simple, you can define the leguminous plant with the help of example of pulses yielding crops like gram pea, pigeon pea. So, rhizobium are the useful bacteria found in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. They are helpful in the fixing atmospheric nitrogen into their roots so that they can easily store the protein in their grains. Because nitrogen is very essential for the formation of protein. That's why the pulses are rich in protein. So, rhizobium is a useful bacteria because it fixes atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. Is that clear? Treponema pallidum or treponema, it is a harmful bacteria, leads a disease or STD diseases, that is known as syphilis. Now Vibrio bacteria, it leads the cholera disease. So the full name of the bacteria is Vibrio cholerae. It is a comma-shaped or curve-shaped bacteria. Now student, fungi. Fungi are just called saprophytes because they feed upon dead and decaying organic and inorganic matter of animals and plants. They just grown on the dark and moist places because on the moisture they can appear very easily, and when the absence of light they can grow very rapidly, they can multiply themselves very rapidly. Rhizopus is a kind of fungus. almost can be seen on the wooden blocks. Mucor also, this is a kind of fungus. These are somewhat harmful fungus. The bread mold appears on the rotten bread. Mushroom, this is a useful fungus. Mushroom agaricus is a rich source of protein and is a type of edible fungus. Like to the mushroom, yeast is also an edible fungus. Yeast, it is used in bakery industry, in making confectionery, ice cream. Lots of industries are uses the yeast for the process of fermentation. Besides that, if you are talking about the bacteria, edible bacteria, then lactic baciillus helps in conversion of the milk into lactobacillus. Now L-butyrate, it is also a somewhat mushroom-like fungus, but not edible in nature. So these are the some example of fungi. Fungi is just also called fafud or kavak in your daily or local terms. They just grow on the pickles, jams, jellies. Also, if a leather bag or shoes get wet in the monsoon season and kept in dark places, not washed or rinsed properly, then the appearance of the fungi take place on that surface of the shoes, leather bags or leather beds. Is that clear? Now student, algae. Algae are the simplest plants. Yes, their body are not differentiated into root, leaves and stems. So, they are just called simplest plant. They are generally found in the moist places everywhere on the wall and appears more in amount during the rainy season. Generally, all of you call them in their local language as kai. Yes, student, kai is just the variety of algae. The algae are various in color due to presence of some pigments. The red algae appears red in color. It is abundantly found in the Red Sea. Brown algae, brown in color. Blue-green algae, they appears blue-green in color. These are the some example of alga. Alga are photosynthetic type of unicellular or multicellular. Filamentous are you can say that the thalloid shape structure of plants. Now students, protozoans. Protozoans are first primitive animals which are originate on the earth during the primitive world, in primitive world. The protozoans are unicellular but eukaryotic type of organism. Their body organization is the eukaryotic type and unicellular. The protozoans also spread many diseases. They are useful as well as harmful to us. If you are talking about the amoeba, is the most famous protozoans. Irregular body shape, presence of pseudopodia as locomotory organ, immortal. This is immortal organism. It means it never die any natural death. Lots of features are there of the amoeba, and their most of the species spread many diseases like amoeba gingivalis, leads to amoebiasis disease. Paramecium, it is also type of protozoans whose appears is just sole of the sleeper. Euglena, a connecting link between the plant and animals because they perform the autotrophic as well as heterotrophic both type of nutrition. How? We will discuss in next lecture. Leishmania, it leads a disease that is called Kala-Azar. Trypanosoma, it leads African sleeping sickness in animals. So these are the just unicellular but eukaryotic type of autotrophic or heterotrophic or parasitic type of organism. Now the students, virus. Virus are the kind of pathogens which leads to the diseases called viral diseases. As you observe about the viral fever. So here are the example of some viruses: HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. It leads a disease, disastrous disease or dreadful disease that is called AIDS. CMV, cucumber mosaic virus. TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. Poliomycetes or poliovirus. Hepatitis virus leads to a chronic disease in which the liver cirrhosis, it means liver cancer like diseases take place due to the hepatitis. Okay. Now student, herpes, it also leads the fever and the gum or mouth, or you can say that the foot and mouth bleeding disease in the animals like cows, buffaloes. Beside them, the mumps virus and lots of viruses are there, and their names are just after the diseases they spread. But the IUCN, International Union of Viral or Biological Nomenclature, ICVM, also gave some international name which are after the observation of the diseases they caused. So more about these microorganisms we will discuss in next lecture one by one. Thanks students for joining today's lecture.